All right, let's jump right into the practical side of cryptography. If you're gearing up for your CEH cert, this is stuff you absolutely need to know, and we're going to break it all down in a way that actually makes sense. So let's start with a situation that could totally happen in the real world. Picture this. Your boss sends you a critical email. You act on it, and then they turn around and say, "I never sent that." Whoa. Now, this isn't just an awkward conversation, right? It's a fundamental security problem. How can you prove they sent it?
Well, the answer is a really powerful concept in cryptography called non-repudiation. It's basically a digital guarantee that makes it impossible for the sender to deny sending a message and for the receiver to deny getting it. This idea, it's the bedrock of all digital trust.
Now, non-repudiation is actually just one piece of a bigger puzzle. It's one of the four main goals of cryptography. Before we dive into all the cool applications, we got to get this foundation straight, because everything else we talk about is built on it.
Okay, so here they are, the big four. Confidentiality is all about secrecy, making sure only the right people can read the data. Integrity means you can trust that the data hasn't been messed with. Authentication is proving you are who you say you are. And of course, non-repudiation, which gives you that undeniable proof. Just keep these four in your head, because every single tool we're about to look at serves at least one of these goals.
So, back to our tricky email problem. How do we actually achieve that goal of non-repudiation? Well, let's get into our first and maybe most important application, digital signatures.
And let's be super clear here. We are not talking about just pasting a picture of your name onto a document. No way. A digital signature is a sophisticated piece of math that validates two things at once: who sent the message, and that the message itself is exactly as it was when they sent it.
So how does this magic work? It's actually a beautiful combination of two crypto tools. First, you take your message and run it through a hashing algorithm, which spits out a unique fingerprint. Then, and this is the key part, you use your private key, the one only you have, to encrypt that hash. That encrypted hash is the digital signature. When I receive it, I use your public key to unlock it. If the hash I calculate from the message matches the hash you sent me, bam, undeniable proof. It had to be you and nothing has changed.
Okay, so digital signatures are fantastic for proving who sent something. But what about keeping the message itself secret while it's flying across the public internet? That's a whole different ballgame and requires a different set of tools.
To create those secure tunnels for our data, we have a whole toolbox of different protocols. And as you can see, there's no one-size-fits-all solution here. SSL and TLS are the workhorses of the internet. That's what puts the S in HTTPS. PGP is a classic for locking down your emails end-to-end. And FTPS, well, that's just a way to bolt some modern TLS security onto the very old-school file transfer protocol.
Encrypting data while it's moving is absolutely critical, but our job as security pros isn't over when the data arrives. What happens when it's just sitting there, on a laptop, a server, or a backup drive? Data at rest needs protection too.
And that's where disk encryption comes in. The whole point here is to protect confidentiality if someone physically steals the device. Think of it like a safe for your entire hard drive. It scrambles every single bit of data, turning the whole thing into unreadable gibberish without the right key.
You've probably run into these names before, right? If you're on Windows, you have BitLocker. On a Mac, it's FileVault. They're built right in. Using these tools is just fundamental for protecting any device that could get lost or stolen, especially laptops. It's a no-brainer.
Now, if you want to kick this security up another level, you turn to dedicated hardware. And for the CEH, you really got to know the difference between a TPM and an HSM. A trusted platform module, the TPM, is like a tiny secure vault soldered right under your computer's motherboard. Its job is to protect the keys for that specific device, like the key for BitLocker. An HSM, a hardware security module, is a totally different beast. It's an external, heavy-duty powerhouse designed to be a central crypto workhorse for an entire company, crunching thousands of secure operations every second.
Okay, so we've looked at signatures, we've looked at protocols for data in transit, and encryption for data at rest. But here's the thing. In the real world, you almost never see these things used by themselves. The real power comes when you start layering them together into what we call hybrid systems.
This quote from the source material really hits the nail on the head. Modern systems aren't about picking a favorite. It's about being smart and using the strengths of both symmetric and asymmetric encryption to build something that's both incredibly secure and incredibly fast.
Let's just take the TLS handshake, the thing that happens every time you visit a secure website. Asymmetric crypto is strong, but it's slow. Symmetric crypto is wicked fast, but you have to share the key safely first. So what does TLS do? It uses the best of both. It uses the slow but strong asymmetric part for just a moment to securely agree on a fast, one-time use symmetric key. Then, for the rest of your session, all your data is encrypted with that super fast key. It's brilliant.
And believe it or not, that entire beautiful, complex dance happens in milliseconds every single time you see that little lock icon pop up in your browser. It's seamlessly blending authentication, integrity, and confidentiality without you even noticing.
So what's the big takeaway here for your CEH studies? Cryptography isn't just one thing. It's a whole toolbox of different applications, each designed to deliver on those 4 pillars of trust. But here's the final thought I want to leave you with. Technology never stands still. The rise of quantum computing is a serious threat to a lot of the systems we use today, and it's pushing the entire field to invent a new generation of post-quantum cryptography. And that's the next great challenge that you, the next generation of ethical hackers, will have to solve.